John's just retired from astronautics. He was one of the last men to make a moonwalk. John, are you all right, son? You're white as a sheet and you're trembling.
Nothing I can do. It's happening again. I'm changing.
And in several seconds, we see before us a man-wolf. It runs through the darkness as it hunts its quarry. And that quarry is man. The mark of the man-wolf. A man-wolf.
Hello, and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast. This season, we're talking about Marvel's number 2 lycanthrope, John Jameson, a.k.a. the Moonrot Man-Wolf, Old Lobo, the Furry Freak, Night Brute, Fang Snout, and most importantly, the Cosmic Star God. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balcom.
Just at the top of the show here, before we introduce our esteemed guest, we're going to let you guys know that we now have voicemail. So if you want to come. If you want to call in and give us your opinion on something, anything, what you're reading, what you thought about the issue, how wrong Jacob was, like whenever he disagrees with me, you can call 971-220-5865. That's 971-220-JUNK and leave a voicemail. And, if it's okay for us to use it on the show, we're going to use it. If you don't want us to, then say don't use it or whatever. So, yeah, call in. We are going to be letting people know that we have we're putting out a call for some listener participation for the finale, which is coming up really soon, like shockingly soon, of our second season. And then we're going to take a month off before season 3. So we'll be asking you guys, give us your your countdowns, your favorite moments, your favorite artists of the season 2, that kind of stuff. So 971-220-JUNK. All right, we have one of our oldest guests and our bestest buds, Brad Elmore. Hi, Brad.
Hey, nice to be here as usual. Petition to, once again, not refer to the Star God as Marvel's number 2 lycanthrope.
Okay, yeah. I probably should have changed that intro once he evolved into the Star God form, huh?
No, if the, Jack Russell wasn't such a total bitch, I would be inclined to let him be number 1, but he is. So I just feel like the Star God's cooler, and I think he's I think he's the championship werewolf of the Marvel universe.
So
Could
we
Jack
should call
Russell...
him we need to call him the number 1 Star God then.
Well, he's what if the number 2 is temporal?
But he can't be the number
what if it's
1
like
Star
sequential?
God, because there's better Star Gods in the Marvel universe. I gotta say.
Oh, come on! Are you going to go to that Warlock place again?
I always go to the Warlock place. I look like Adam Warlock.
Capital S.
Too. We're looking at you right now, and you look like Adam Warlock.
Oh my God! Are you going for Adam Warlock? Are you?
My whole life, yeah. Okay. My whole life, yeah.
Oh man!
I thought that was just bronzer, but you're
the place that you say go to that Warlock place. I go to places that aren't Warlock sometimes.
No, I think we mean Star God, like capital S hyphen capital G TM, like the nomenclature of Star God. Obviously, okay. Warlock is, yeah. And I think the number 2, as we've cleared up here, is publishing order, appearance. Right? You don't like that, Jacob?
What? I just got confused.
Okay. So Jack Russell appeared first.
Yes.
And then...
so you're talking about the chronology of what you talk about, not about Star... I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking about Star God. No, you're right. I mean, there is a chronology, and that does fit with you. I mean, that's been established. You're the chronology guy. You care
fair enough.
so much.
Fair enough.
So I'm just saying, everybody can be happy here.
Can we, though?
Can we all just reach around? Okay. So, Brad, do you have anything that you want to share with our audience before we launch into this issue? Like what's been going on with you? Any exciting news?
We need an update.
Nothing new, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on some potential things, possibly a bit TV show, but all that stuff's a long shot, and a bunch of other crap. I mean, nothing worth talking about outside of just I'm happy the weather's warm.
Okay, so if you were if you were working for Disney to write a 70s set Ghost Rider special, you wouldn't tell us anyway. So
No.
I would tell you guys.
Yeah, well, I should hope that you would tell us, at least in a private chat. I'm still waiting for the Dazzler with cocaine. I really want to see that.
I actually have just because I'm a loon written most of a Ghost Rider script just to do it. It's completely just in case that Marvel call ever comes, and I go meet with Feige and sell my soul to Disney. If I'm going to sell my soul to Disney, I'm going. It's like, let me set it in the 70s. It won't count. It won't fuck with what you're doing now, because you could just, if you want the actor, the same actor, you can just say he's immortal, ageless. And if you want a legacy character or somebody for inclusivity's sake, later on, that's fine too, because I like the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he's great.
Comic book character. I mean, I don't really read any of that shit, but I don't really care. I don't mind. And I don't even think Johnny Blaze necessarily, he could be anything to me, as long as it's the 70s. He's got a lot of swagger and he's a stunt biker. And it's like an existential road movie, but it's like, let me do matte paintings, make the budget. We don't have to do 200 million. Let's do matte paintings. Let's make it psychedelic. Let's make it like Vanishing Point. It's awesome that a car rep right when I said Vanishing Point.
Yeah, we said Vanishing Point. I know.
Yeah. Let's do it like a Vanishing Point with superheroes, like how the ones like Night of the Condor or whatever, 3 Days of the Condor with superheroes. It's like, this is Vanishing Point with all this other stuff, and I can license Black Sabbath and Hawkwind and just let Feige, God damn it, let me do it.
Yeah.
And that would be it. That'd be the only thing. And I have written most of it. Just let me cast Antonio Banderas as Mephisto, and I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah. Well, if anybody out there listening is associated with Disney in any capacity and can make this happen, pass this on to Kevin, please do so.
Yeah. Of course, I'd have to hire you guys on as consultants,
Well,
naturally.
Obviously.
I would just take one of those thank yous at the very end of the credits, right before the third cutscene happens or whatever.
Not me. I want paid consultant.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Good deal.
Yeah, that's some nerdy shit right there. I took the time to do that. There's got to be better things I could do with my life, but
No, but I love you're comfortable enough on this show that you'll admit that you've written a Ghost Rider spec script.
Yeah,
because it's impressive
minds.
to us. We love you.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Is a spec script that's always like for hire, right?
No, spec is just something you write on your own.
Oh,
Speculation.
it is. Okay. What is spec short for?
Speculation.
Oh, speculation.
I
I've never even bothered to think about that before. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now. Thank you. All right. So we're here to talk about the Savage She-Hulk issue number 13, which was cover dated February 1981. So the last time we saw Man-Wolf was in that Spider-Man story, which I think was 79, early 79. Like it came out Christmas. And so it's been a couple of years. And the last time we saw him, he was, spoilers, Brad, he was on top of the Brooklyn Bridge with his father and Spider-Man, and Spencer Smythe had injected him with some irradiated trace material and triggered it remotely, and Man-Wolf got dizzy and tripped out and fell off the top of the Brooklyn Bridge and then disappeared in a flash of pink light. And then it's been 2 years. So now we get to kind of figure out what the hell happened.
And I love that this guy, Kraft, is just smuggling his pet character into She-Hulk. Yeah. The most unlikely of places and in the most unlikely of ways. It's just like constantly like, who was editing right then in 19? Was it Shooter? Would it be Shooter in 1980?
Shooter is editor in chief at this point. I think this is
Joe Duffy is the
Joe Duffy's the editor for the issue, and Jim Shooter is totally editor in chief.
Amazing that he was in this particular era that he's like, listen, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just sandbag this whole She-Hulk thing and just force in this story I've been telling about this werewolf star god,
See, but we've talked a lot about Shooter's early tenure as editor-in-chief, and this was kind of his deal. He kind of, in the beginning, before Secret Wars, before he figured out how much money he could make on something, he actually encouraged big swings. And we've established this before. You know, you got Beta Ray Bill, you got the Death of Phoenix, you got all this. He didn't mind that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you were selling.
Yeah, exactly. If you were selling, he didn't mind at all. So yeah, this is, I don't know exactly how much Savage She-Hulk sold at the time. It did last for a while. So, I mean, it obviously must have sold some. But yeah, and also in these two issues, I'd like to think that Kraft went back to his original high school novel, his Sword and Sandals high school novel, for some of these plot twists that we're going to see in this issue.
I sort of am sad about it in a way, because this Kraft guy sacrificed his, this thing that's been carrying around to him, and he sacrificed it to the IP gods, and it's like, maybe it you could almost see it as something that would have landed in Epic Comics or something like that, or
for sure.
And instead it's like, well, now it's owned by Marvel and Disney. This guy's childhood idea is it's in their iron box.
I didn't think of it that way.
Well, but they've done nothing to it. They haven't used it for fucking anything. They've underused it.
Sure, but eventually, I mean, the way things go, if it does get used, it'll be they'll pick it up, they'll take something that was meant so much to them, they'll workshop it, and a bunch of Hollywood hacks will workshop it, and myself included, workshop it into take the little pieces they want to use, and that can fit, and then sand off all the weird edges and all this sort of stuff that doesn't
all the character
work. Yeah, sand off all the true strangeness, the true from the hip strangeness of it. And then that guy will just sit back and not his estate won't make a fucking dime of it. And it's sad. So
see, I choose to think of a alternate road where the light that we are lovingly shining on the Star God through our weird little podcast is going to inspire someone, or someone's going to hear it and then figure out that they need to read the issues. They need to basically just read, maybe Creatures on the Loose 37, both Marvel Premiere, and then both of these She-Hulk issues, and realize that that Man-Wolf and John Jameson are a moonstone in the rough here, and that they need to be established and used exactly as Kraft would have wanted. So I have faith that's going to happen.
I'm more worried about Kraft's pockets not being lined less than their
faithfulness.
Well,
I mean, we're talking about Kraft's family. He died of COVID in 2020, sadly enough. But none of these people make any money. They get a little I think they get $5,000, right? Has that been I think that's been established.
I don't know, but did you read that Joe Casey thing about, that he wrote about that kind of thing? And then, Brubaker's talked about it. They've all talked about it. It's
yeah, I mean, well, that's what Brubaker talked about, that he made more from his cameo in Winter Soldier than he did for creating the character. No, I'm pretty sure they get $5,000 as a, hey, thanks, don't make a big deal out of this.
Yeah, it's so horrifying.
Yeah, horrifying. It is horrifying.
It's especially horrifying in this case, though, because it's not just playing with the IPAs and stuff like that, and it's long line of stuff that you add to it. It's this guy's weird high school idea. It's his one. I have to do this. This guy's so into this idea, he's shoehorning it into She-Hulk.
Well, I think it's because it's a good idea. I don't know about you guys, but the ideas that I had at 17, I don't want anyone to see ever. I don't know if you guys did your best work at 17, but I did not.
Actually, they always get cannibalized into stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I was thinking about at 16, 17, and around that time that definitely showed up in later things, for sure,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm not trying to drag the whole thing down. I just think it's really interesting that this guy just had this precious to him little ember that he kept alive. And as soon as he was given a character, he immediately turned them into the Star God, and it happened to be a werewolf. So we had to find a way to reconcile that weirdness. And then it's just every chance he's gotten sort of like found a way to try to return to it, nurture and nourish it through the time stream. You know, it's pretty, it's a labor of love, you know?
Well, it is. I mean, he won't let it go. And I applaud him for it, because every time it shows up, I know I'm going to have the most fun reading a comic book. And this is no exception.
Yeah.
So Matt, you want to jump into the cover?
Yeah. Just before we do that though, there are a couple things that someone pointed out to me. I forgot who it was. I apologize for that. But someone messaged me and said, hey, did you guys know that Star God appeared in Spider-Man? Ultimate Spider-Man, the animated series in season 2, which I guess is on Disney Plus, but it's not Man-Wolf. It is a Star God. That's kind of cool. You know, I'll check that out. And I do remember he showed up in a one-season Spider-Man show in '99 called Spider-Man Unlimited, which was where it was a weird show where he was.
That was a CG one?
No, that was for MTV. No, this was
Spider-Man Unlimited. That shit rocked.
Where he went to like an alternate
Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the High Evolutionary.
Yes, that one.
That was bananas.
Yeah.
That was
he was in
like, let's do Batman Beyond, but with Spider-Man, you know?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And that's on Disney Plus as well. And so if you search Man-Wolf, Star God, Spider-Man animated, you'll find those 2 episodes on Disney Plus.
Here's my hottest take. The Spider-Man cartoon that Greg Weisman did is the best version of Spider-Man, period.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I think it's my all-time favorite version of the character.
Like 2008, that around that time. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was super good.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Hey, I thought this would be a hot take, because I'm like, I under that, I'd put that above like even like the Ramita stuff, you know? Like I just think it's so good. You know?
Okay, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about animated.
I wouldn't put it above the original, even though I like the Ramita's art more. I wouldn't put it above the original Ditko weirdness and Ditko Lee run.
Sure.
As like, I think that's the best version of like encased version of Spider-Man there is. But like, if we were to distill all the things I like about Spider-Man, what it can be and what it can't do, my favorite take on the character, period, is that show. I think it's really cool.
Well,
yeah, I think that's a fair opinion.
I acknowledge your opinion.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular, thank you.
And it has the second best Spider-Man theme song. Nothing beats that original one and the Ramones cover. But
obviously,
the Spectacular Spider-Man does have a theme song that kind of rips, if I were to be honest. You know.
See, now I can only remember the Joe Perry 90s screaming guitar.
Slash?
Oh God!
Was that Slash? I thought it was.
That was Slash. I thought.
Are you sure? I thought it was Joe Perry. Sadly enough, I mean, I want it to be Slash, but I'm pretty sure it was Joe Perry.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, what's all this Joe Perry hate? He fucking rips.
I know. I was waiting for that. I read as it left my mouth. I was like,
come on, you don't listen to rocks.
Here we go.
Rips, you know.
Yeah, I'm a few bars of the Spectacular Spider-Man theme. I remember loving it, like being a grown man.
Yeah. Oh God, you're gonna make me do this live. It's like spectacular.
Oh, that song kicks ass.
Yeah,
it's a really great song.
That is the best Spider-Man theme song aside from the original '60s one.
It's a banger theme song.
It's great.
Yeah. Okay. So Savage She-Hulk. But before, just to warn everybody, here there be ignorance. None of us really know a ton about She-Hulk. I don't even know where she was introduced. Jacob, do you know if she was introduced in the Hulk, Incredible Hulk? Or did she just get her own book and get established as a character?
She starts in her own book, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think so, if I'm correct. But
because they just wanted to get that trademark as fast as possible because of the TV show and things like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Smart. Okay.
I think it did originally start out as a trademark thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. So this cover is a bit of a zoo. Like there's a lot going on. I love it, but like normally if it weren't Star God and the other Realmites, I would be like, Jesus, this is a fucking mess. We're in like a outdoor mall. There's a giant diamond crystal with the Star God like stuck to it, like he's on one of those wheels where they throw knives at women in the circus.
Yep.
And in the foreground, She-Hulk is screaming as a barbarian grabs her wrist, and the barbarian is coming out of Lambert, the magician from the other realm, out of his cloak. He has this cloak like Cloak of Cloak and Dagger, where his cloak is a portal to another world. So he's opening up his cape, and a bunch of barbarians behind him in pink are storming out of the nether regions of what we see on the cover is called the Shadow Cloak. It says, "From another world they came, warriors of the Shadow Cloak," guest starring the monstrous Man-Wolf. And this art is by Mike Vosberg and Al Milgrom. And I know nothing about Mike Vosberg, so I hope you did some research, Jacob. But let's talk about this cover before we get to page 1.
You bet. I definitely liked Al Milgrom's inks on this. I think I noticed a difference from. I think we have Frank Springer did the inks on the interiors, and I'll talk a little bit about him later on too. But yeah, you're right. I feel like that if the subject matter wasn't the Star God and Lambert, that I would think this cover was a little weird. It doesn't, I don't know, the layout doesn't quite make sense to me. I like it and I get it, but yeah, it's just a little off-putting to me.
Like I think my eyes do what Vosberg wanted them to do. Like I land on Man-Wolf and I go down to She-Hulk and then I follow her arm down to Lambert and the Barbarians. But it's really busy.
You know, if this was like more of a considered, I mean, they didn't really do this back then as much, or kind of not at all really, so rare. But if it was a more considered cover, it should be like green skin with a pearl necklace, like a close-up of She-Hulk's like neckline with the pearl necklace, and then just the reflection of Man-Wolf in the pearls, you know, would be dope as hell.
Fucking
right?
A.
Like, what's going on here? You know, this is fucking wild. But I don't think an 8-year-old would buy that. They'd be like, pearl necklace, get out of here.
My big brother's always talking about those.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should just, I mean, there's so many jokes. As soon as I got to that ending, I'm like, you've got to get it. But I do, you know, the cover is just sort of like par for the course, like fit everything in the kitchen sink on the damn cover, as opposed to erring on the side of just have Man-Wolf and She-Hulk like kind of posing with each other, you know?
Yes.
I do really like how much this art team seems to nail Star God. Like his ears, his face, the proportions, like everything's just like the perfect amalgam of all the things I like about a good Star God / Man-Wolf.
Yeah, I think that Vosberg really connected with the character design of Star God, because he really sticks to what was already established by George Perez. Yeah.
So I gather from this issue that Jennifer Walters, is that her name? Jennifer Walter?
It is.
Her identity was secret at this point, right? She's famously in modern era very out with her superhero-ness and has integrated that into her private life. But at this point, she's still hiding her identity, right? Seems like. It
seems like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the only issue of original She-Hulk I've ever read.
Me too.
At least for me, I mean, I read the Dan Slott run, which is, you know, from the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I think. But yeah, as far as the original Savage She-Hulk run, this is the first issue that I read as well. I read a few before this just to kind of get a little bit of context, which it didn't give me a ton of context, basically all that we have in here. So
I think the only other stuff I've read was like a Civil War tie-in where she was like representing a bunch of heroes. I can't remember which side of the law she was on, but
oh yeah, that's great. That's great, actually.
I can't remember who was writing that, but that's the only stuff I've read besides this, really.
Well, let's jump into the issue, fellas. Okay, so the opening page, the title of our story is Through the Crystal, and our creators are David Anthony Kraft, writer, Mike Vosberg and Frank Springer, artists, Michael P. Higgins, letterer, Carl Gafford, colorist. We have Joe Duffy as the issue editor, and Jim Shooter, like we said, is now editor-in-chief, making all the big decisions. So Let's talk just slightly about Mike Vosberg. So he started out in underground comics in like the early 70s. I think at Kitchen Sink Press mainly. He worked on titles like Death Rattle and Bizarre Sex. And after that, he went mainstream. He went over to Charlton and he worked on horror and romance titles mostly. He did some work for DC, moved to Marvel in like the late 70s, and did art for titles like John Carter and and a fairly large run on Savage She-Hulk. So weirdly enough, though, he's most famous for drawing the comic covers that were used in every episode of the TV show Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting.
All the comic covers that would be in the beginning, would nearly, I think like 98% of them were done by Mike Vosberg.
Yeah. It's weird. When you say indie comics, I don't really pick that up in this art style, but I definitely pick up romance comics in this.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely came from a romance background, and he's really good at it. And all the character work in here is really good, and it does have that kind of cool romance faces, feel to it.
Yeah, the faces on She-Hulk, especially, I really liked. There's they're like expressive and I like the sort of very like she kind of rounds off her face a bit. Like a very fuller look. It almost reminds me a little bit, which is a huge stretch because there's not a whole lot that's similar, but it kind of some of her look and some of her thing reminds me of the Hernandez brothers a little bit. But in particular, the character of She-Hulk, and especially her some of her face stuff.
Yeah,
I can totally see that.
I can see that,
but definitely romance comics for sure.
Los Bros.
Yeah, Vosberg was able to do just a ton of different styles of work. Like weirdly, after his big Tales from the Crypt gig, he did storyboard work for music videos like Eminem's Stan.
Yeah, well, that actually probably paid him some money,
Exactly. He worked on, I think his biggest ones were Eminem's Stan and a video for Eve, Let Me Blow Your Mind. And so, it's those guys
he's storyboarded some bangers. Yeah,
he did. And we've heard this before from guys, even from Plug himself, that went once he went to Hollywood and started doing storyboards, he's like, oh my God, why haven't I been doing this the whole fucking time?
Like Gabe Hardman.
I'm paid for my time. I'm paid really well for my time. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's like the trade-off for boards is your work doesn't live the same way in the way that it does with the comics work.
It's a guiding element that's integral to the production, but it's lost on a lot of the audience, right?
Where it's like Ghost Rider lives forever.
Yeah.
No, it's true. That's true.
But I don't blame him because it's like fuck living forever. I want to ball out of control. Give me that money.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the weird signature look in this issue actually comes from the inker Frank Springer. So he started out at Dell in the 60s. He went on to draw horror books, I think at Charlton, called Ghost Stories and Tales from the Tomb, like kind of cool shit. He moved over to DC in 67. He drew some Batman and some Dial H for Hero. And then I think he headed to Marvel right after Steranko left Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think actually Springer did a fill-in for Steranko when he couldn't make his deadlines a couple issues before he left. And then he took over the title and just worked on a lot of shit since then. And he's been inking Vosberg on Savage She-Hulk since issue 10, and he's going to continue through issue 22. So he'll be here for a while.
And Michael Higgins, P. Higgins?
Didn't really find too much about him. We've seen Carl Gafford a few times before. I think even in Werewolf by Night we saw him and have always dug his colors.
I like the colors in this quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I do too. It's funny. Each page, I was just I shouldn't like the art on this page, but I do. It was a weird reaction I had.
Is Joe Duffy a man or a woman?
I am not sure about that.
Okay.
Joe Duffy is the guitarist. the cult, right?
I think of
cult.
Duff Kagan. Oh,
Yeah. No,
Or am I-
it's the guitarist for the cult. Yes.
Is it Joe Duffy? Is that his name? No, it's. Or am I getting that wrong? Oh my god, I'm gonna hate myself for this.
This all stays in.
you blew
Okay,
it.
cool.
You blew it.
Ian Axberry's never gonna be my friend now. Yeah.
Nope.
So, yeah. Sorry, did you want to go on to the content of the actual?
Yes.
Does that have
Yeah.
comments?
So we start out with a full page illustration of the She-Hulk kind of hovering over Jen Walters, who is in bed, like kind of colored all in blues and blacks. Like Carl Gafford's colors through this issue are really cool.
I agree.
Like they really elevate the art in this issue. And yeah, I mean, I dug this opening page. I think it set the tone for the whole issue art-wise, which I guess is what you want an opening page to do.
I really wanted to put this in Photoshop and grab what would be her left eye and select, and then just drag it over like 3 millimeters.
It's
Like her eyes are just a
for you.
little too close together. But
Okay.
other than that, God, I absolutely love it. I love this. You know, we've talked before about how we love the Eisnerian kind of reaches that people do on these splash pages, and this, like, we love the kaiju figure that's this kind of like metaphoric or whatever kind of, you know,
Hovers
or
over
shadowing.
them.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
so her raging, like kind of almost clenching her fists while her human form is hugging her knees on her bed and just kind of all morose and sad. And these blues, like you said, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really, really cool opening page in my opinion.
So on the next page, we get a kind of it's not a fever dream because she's awake, but, or no, she's asleep now on the top
She's
here.
asleep.
Another page of her, like all in her negligee in her bed, and it's all nice blues. And she's having this dream where her father is putting her on trial, and this guy named Buck, who I had to look this dude up because I was like, who's Buck was my first note. And so apparently he's LA's assistant DA. He's a rival of Jen Walters. And he wears goggles. Every time I've seen him, when I did like a Google search for this dude, he has these goggles on. So he looks like a Flash Gordon dude. So like, I'm assuming that's his, like, you know how Jughead always wore a whoopee hat? Like that's this dude's thing. And his name is like I forgot what his name is. It's like John Buck Bukowski, but everybody calls him Buck. So they're all accusing her, like, you're on trial, and her dad's the judge and he's the DA, and you're a disgrace and you break all these ethical codes and blah, blah, blah. And she's like freaking out, going, no, you're all wrong. You don't understand. I'm the She-Hulk. And she just turns into the She-Hulk. And on the last panel of this page, when she does reveal herself in her dream state to her accusers, I love that panel of the guy in the foreground, like very EC, like menacing and like leering at her, and the shadowy figure in the back with a big like alien head, and Buck with his goddamn goggles on. But I love that that blue face, that big menacing face.
And
I
so
also
this
love
is
her face. This kind of like, it's like a montagey dream thing in this thing, and she's looking up, kind of yelling, and that's also awesome. Sorry, Brad.
Oh no, I like all the stuff in this that's actually She-Hulk centered very much, and I feel
Would you
like
hold that thought for a second? Is this
Yeah.
is this passing?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll wait for that.
I started because a really joyous little kid ran by with their dad, and it was quite delightful actually. But so anywho, yeah, for some reason everyone decided to descend upon me all at once. Every helicopter, everything. Like, is
That's
it a
just how it
fucking
goes.
holiday? You know, I mean,
How
these
it
streets
goes.
are so quiet, and then I light up for the show, and it's just great. Anywho, so I was gonna say I like all the She-Hulk stuff a lot in this issue, and it reminded me of like good Spider-Man stuff.
Mhm.
Because this is like a dream Spider-Man would have.
Like good cast of, yeah, totally.
Where it's like,
For sure.
I didn't fuck these things up. You just don't know the whole truth. It's actually, I did my best, and now it's tearing my life apart, and I'm having a dream about how I suck, you know, and it's very, and then the dual romance thing that comes in, and it made me wonder, did Kraft ever have like he probably would have really good writer for Spider-Man, just like a run on Spider-Man.
I wish.
And
Yeah, no, he was not given the chance. He really was was never given a major title, which looking back, I don't understand. I mean, maybe he was just enough of an iconoclast to not kind of have upper management be like, oh, that guy's not really a team player. Let's maybe not give him Spider-Man. But I would have loved that.
Was Defenders always a third tier book? I'm assuming.
I'm just assuming so.
Even when Gerber wrote it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
so. I mean, the three of us have never really read a ton of it, so
The Defenders.
Yeah,
I've read the Defenders for sure.
yeah. I mean, I've read a little bit, but yeah, I've read a little bit of the Gerber stuff, but I never read his run on Defenders, and it was pretty long.
Because it was like Englehart. It was like Thomas Englehart, Gerber, Kraft, right? Those are like the big runs. Yeah.
Yep, those are the big runs.
And I like. I was just thinking that this guy seems to have like a knack for that type of thing in this issue, at least. And it actually made me want to check out more She-Hulk, to be honest.
Same exact reaction after reading this issue. I was like, huh. Jacob's gonna laugh. I was like, how much is the Savage She-Hulk omnibus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at the same thing. I was like, oh,
yeah, me too. I'm really digging what I've read of this. Even this first issue.
It's
I'm
got
just
these
like,
good little soap opera elements and stuff, and I dig the sort of the look of everything, and I was like, hey, this is sort of interesting little soap opera comic.
Yeah, I've been very open about how much I love the soap opera of a supporting cast in a book. That for me is a make or break thing, honestly.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so I and I've realized reading this issue that I just love David Kraft. Like, no matter what property he's doing, what cast of characters he's working with, I'm never bored. No. Even sometimes I'm like, well, that's a little corn dog, or what the fuck is he doing? Like, I'm always entertained.
He crams a lot of stuff in an issue. He's got that thing that a lot of comics did back then, but especially like Claremont had, where it's just like everything all at once in an issue. Yeah. Just like within 16 pages, you've gone to 4 different worlds and all these different subplots are threading through. But who's writing Spider-Man in 80? It wasn't Michelini yet, right? That's like way later.
I mean, was it still Wolfman? It might be.
That's a great question.
Yeah, because I think like whoever was doing it, the Kraft probably would have done a better
I don't
job.
think Stern was there yet.
Interesting one.
No, Stern wasn't there yet. I think it's probably still Wolfman or someone that kind of did. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember anything super amazing about 1980 Spider-Man. So I don't think I think it's in a bit of a lull.
It was a dead spot. Yeah.
It's not till like Web of Spider-Man that shit gets a little bit more interesting.
Well, yeah, for sure.
In my opinion, Stern with the Hobgoblin, I thought was when it really picked up again. There was definitely a lull of a few years there where it was just kind of Freak of the Week and returns of some old Grady baddies. Yeah,
it's pretty boring. But well, let's go on to the next page. So I love the layout of this next page. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the layouts and like there's no normal grids really on hardly any page in this issue. Like the layouts are really bold and kind of exciting and different. And I know that a lot of comics were starting to do this more. Even the larger, flagship titles were starting to kind of do more experimental layouts and things like that. But yeah, I definitely noticed that in this issue. The layouts are super cool as they are on this page. So it's a judge kind of above all else. And he's reading he's saying the speech like, you mean to see that you as She-Hulk killed your best friend, murdered a helpless truck driver, crippled a healthy young woman, destroyed countless dollars of personal property. So he's kind of like laying out all the worst offenses that Jen has committed as She-Hulk in the series. And then, so we're still in a dream. So then, who we'll meet later on, Jen asks Zapper. Zapper shows up for help, and Jen's asking him for help. But yeah, all he really does is say, you'd use anyone in any possible way to further your career as Jen or the She-Hulk. She's like, Zapper, how can you say that? I saved your life. And yeah, he's very accusatory. And I love that bottom panel where he's kind of yelling back at her. And it's just this kind of like weird, colorful bullseye that's expanding out from the judge in that bottom panel. The colors are really amazing, as they are in the entire issue. But I thought art-wise, this page was super badass.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
And
it's one of my favorite pages of the issue, honestly.
I know this is like an anxiety dream / nightmare, but this is kind of just how I go through life.
Yep.
Like this is like note perfect for like the way my mind works. What was Frank Miller around at this point? Are people picking up? Like, I feel okay.
Yes.
I feel like
he starts in the late 70s.
Okay. I feel like people are picking up on some Millerisms. Like this had some, obviously Vosberg was underground artist for a few years and then went to work for bigger books. But like, yeah, this just feels, Jacob, like I love it too. Like as he's laying out those crimes, which again, this just made me want to read the run up to here. But like that they're like coming out like columns, like almost shooting out from his robe with these little vignettes showing each of these crimes. And yeah, that bullseye starburst thing in the bottom, just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a super great page.
So yeah, she must have had a rough start.
Yeah, for sure.
She killed her best friend. It looks like it's pretty early on.
Yeah.
So her dad says, "You're guilty, guilty, guilty," as a gavel's banging in her eyes. And she wakes up and she's like, everyone in LA hates me, everyone except for this Richard Rory guy who Zapper in her dream was saying, you know, you dumped me for Richard Rory, that geek or whatever. So she calls him up and it turns out that he's in a radio station and he says, dang it, as the phone rings, just when I was setting up for the big one. If that's another crank call. And then she says, Richard? He's like, oh, Jennifer, hey, it's great hearing your voice again. She's like, Richard, talk to me, please. I need you. And he's like, gosh, I'm sorry, Jen, but I just can't take the time to talk now. You see, Jen? Yeah. Richard Rory is in a radio station.
Yeah. And he is modeled specifically after like a Rush fan. Like he is. I mean, he's got the hair, the glasses, and he's in this like studio. It's just he is such a dork. But this might be too oblique a reference or too local reference, but he's like she's dating Jim Ladd, you know.
Yeah.
The LA classic rock guy who's freaking it's just a hilarious show that if you know, you know, but hilarious because before the term dad rock existed, this guy exemplified that whole vibe on his radio show and just thought he'd be like talking as if he's going to play the most like subversive, deep cut stuff. And then he just played the same 8 classic rock songs you'd ever hear anywhere else on the station.
Yeah.
But he was so committed to it. And he was so like, this was like I started listening to him 06, 07, I think. And he was so committed to the idea that like people would call in and be like, yeah, my kid likes real music, not like the hip hop. They're into Pink Floyd. And it's just, he was hilarious. He would do spoken word poetry. And it was always like the worst, like Jim Morrison-esque posturing, like the scorpion crawled on her breast and the night sucked her in like it does. Oh, and it's just fucking just a hilarious piece of ephemera that I recommend anybody look up on YouTube if you want a good laugh. Just a burnout California rocker dude just cannot let 1972 go.
Yeah.
And it's great.
I've heard some of them. Like little compilation things on YouTube.
My favorite thing he would ever do was he'd insert noises into the intros or like expanded middle sections of songs, and he'd insert like porno sounds in like a whole lot of love, like get it, man, like it's about sex, man. It's so fucking funny. Yeah. Oh man. Anywho. So she's dating Jim Ladd, and he's like some sort of Jim Ladd, Bob Denver hybrid. Like Rush
Paul Williams.
Well, he's Richard Rory. Like you guys know he's from Man Thing, right? Like he shows up in Gerber's Man Thing. So I
was like, Citrusville is Man Thing. I knew that. Okay.
Yeah. So he's a really early character in Man Thing, I think. I mean,
but it's funny because it's like that guy created by Gerber and then picked up by Kraft, like does not negate anything I just said because
no, it doesn't. It totally doesn't.
Like putting on the newest Blue Oyster Cult record and being like, what if I was in this comic, you know?
Yeah.
So is the prevailing theory that Gerber brought him in because he created him and then he stuck around so Kraft used him as well? Like he was already established in this book?
I think so, but also I think
Or being in Defenders. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think it kind of, I mean, Kraft would love this guy. Like Kraft was a music journalist, you know, like Kraft loved DJs. So I'm shocked there wasn't a DJ in Otherworld.
Yeah, that's true. Like, but narrating like a la the Warriors, like narrating the entire God War.
That would have been so badass.
But this guy looks like this. I don't want to jump ahead of your page, but this dude looks like he would be like, "Hey, it's Mark Twain's birthday today, so we're celebrating by playing Tom Sawyer all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't call.
absolutely.
I'm taking the phone off the hook."
This guy,
I'm trying to get fired. Yeah.
This guy is just dreaming about the heyday, the golden era of FM radio. You know, they used to play whole album sides, man.
Yeah.
Now it's all a 5 o'clock rock block. You know, it probably hurt him when they started calling it classic rock. You know.
Yeah, totally. Like,
It did. It destroyed his soul when that happened. So we get to know him a little bit better on the next page. The call kind of gets cut off. Or he says, Jen hung up too fast for me to tell her the super news that my radio station is getting messages from outer space.
Only in comics would those words ever be uttered.
It's so good. I loved this whole page. So yeah, he talks about mysterious radio signal he's trying to pick up. Like he sunk all of his money into buying this little radio station, and he says he's boosting its power transmission and reception 1,000-fold, you know, trying to get at this mysterious radio signal he's been getting. And then he says,
like, I swear to God, I didn't just drink my bong water this time.
Totally. I know.
You know, like
it's like Kraft drank his bong water and fell asleep with Outer Limits on the TV.
Yeah. No, it's great. And in that bottom panel, I love it. He almost looks like a Dan Clowes character in that illustration, like
that's
his face.
Yeah.
There's
it
like
is a romance comic-y, like mundane real world, like soap opera comic element to the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, it's
arm and hand. His left arm and hand are so fucking huge.
He's
Trump's
jacked.
jerking off somewhere looking at the hand.
I know.
Oh God.
I just like that.
So
like,
Richard's
this guy's gonna have his fucking mind blown. This guy has no real. Is he aware she's She-Hulk? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. No.
So this guy's got a whole lot of business going on around him that he has no idea about. I mean, he's like, wow, I'm getting messages from space. It's like, buddy, it is 1,000 times weirder than that, you know? Oh, and by the way, your girlfriend's a giant green thing. Like this guy is.
She is going to cave your forehead in.
Yeah.
With the orgasms you're about to have.
Yeah. But I love how he talks about that when he's trying to boost the power transmission. He's like, that brought the FCC down on me hard, but they'll be off their burners once they hear my tapes. He's I'm getting something. It's weak and fuzzy. Even at full power, I'll have to hit the manual override, push everything beyond all recommended levels. So yeah, you know, I mean, Kraft is loving this shit. Like this is how he wants DJs to act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like Lester Bangs, you know, communicating with aliens or something.
And the left side of that panel needs to be cropped out into a square and be like a mixed CD cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once they hear my tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it would be so good.
Oh man. So the next page, I'm very fond of, it starts off with this big, beautiful portrait of the man wolf, great scratchy fur inks, and it's cut in half, much the way that you do a Peter Parker and a Spider-Man mask, like cut in half. But the other half, instead of being John Jameson's face, is a little 4-panel vignette just catching the reader up in case you're reading She-Hulk and you're like, why am I looking at a werewolf story? He explains the whole thing about how he went to space, got this thing, blah, blah. And I love I love that whole sequence, like the blues, the moonlight on him. And there's a cool little 3 column transformation, which, you know, we've remarked this season, like they shy away from like the Ploogie, like, and Perlin, like just embracing the weirdness and the gore, you know, body horror of the change. And this is no break from that. Like,
no,
he falls to his knees, his back to us, that he's like head down, turns to us as he's kind of crawling in pain, his hand on his head. And then he just kind of pops up right near the camera of our eye, fully transformed. And I love that last panel where he's just like here to play. And then on the bottom 2 panels, he's saying, explain the whole otherworld thing. So I went there, I met these warriors, there was this whole thing, and the planet soon exploded in God War. And we get this great panel showing those weird horn-headed skeleton deadites, or whatever the hell those things are, and the flying creatures and like everything. Like this page is just like, I would fucking blow a pound of puppies to fucking get this goddamn like original art.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah.
Second weirdest for me.
What a metric to use. Wait, it was like a pound of puppies, like a
not an LB pound. Like
I got you.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, makes much more sense.
Yeah,
still
Yep.
Still weird. Still very, 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 very abstract. But
well, usually I measure things by like how many puppies I would stomp to have something happen. Like I kill, blah 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 for a cheeseburger right now. But I'm in a place of I need to be positive. So
yeah, we're gonna give those puppies some pleasure.
Yeah,
Who doesn't like that?
Matt's positivity is strange and weird.
My positivity is every dog's benefit.
Yeah, keep it dark, my friend.
Yeah.
No, Matt,
I classy. You guys are making it weird.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're the ones making it weird.
I'm Sarah McLachlan, and I don't know what the fuck your problem is, but I'm here to have a good time. Say the puppies. Whoop.
Oh man, I was just gonna say that I totally agree with you on this page. I love the art totally. Trying to take it back, You
had to take it too far.
You had to take it too far, man.
I don't think it was out of bounds. It's just
good.
Truly strange.
Jacob, I really want to talk about the next page, please.
All right. Well, Jesus. All right.
Get over the puppy thing. Jesus God, that was like 2 minutes ago.
All right, so we're on the next page. So he explains what we discovered, last issue. So there's a lot of narration on this, so I'm going to kind of summarize some of it. He explains what we discovered last issue, that the Godstone was kind of sucking his life force, slowly killing him. Spencer Smythe had injected him with an isotope to kill him, but I like that the Godstone itself teleported him away. So really, I think when Smythe hit his big button on the control panel last issue, that was just supposed to like release a poison isotope and just kill John.
Yeah.
But as he did that, the Godstone, which is sentient, we know, teleported him away to protect him from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see Man-Wolf in his Star God form again. And he's in like a different place of reality, which he says is close to Other Realm, but too far away to send telepathic signals. So I love this. So he kind of lands on a weirdly shaped like planetoid covered in spikes and says, I had to reach the Other Realm, but how? And he like breaks off one of the spikes and he's like, finally, by combining my sheer strength as a star god with my knowledge as an astronaut of escape velocities and space and so forth.
Love it.
I contrived a crude but effective escape from my alien prison. So this is where it just like the sci-fi in this just has exploded into awesomeness.
Like Sid and Marty Krofft level.
It is. We're suddenly in the altered states of Drugachusetts, and it's a glorious place to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so my thing, I love in this top row that we get the mechanics of the Godstone. We know a little bit about it, but like, he starts saying like, when I came back from the God War, the crystal that had fixed itself to myself, whatever, was like, when it's away from the powers of the Other Realm, it started feeding off of me. So that's why he was dying. And then, like you said, like it's also like self-reflexive, like it protects itself. So like when he was being murdered by this, like essentially like a cyanide tooth, but of isotope in his bloodstream, the Godstone's like, yeah, fuck that. We're out of here. And then he disappears in Ditko Cosmos. And he's just floating around falling through space slowly until he lands on a planet full. It looks like a pizza planet with spikes on it. And then he does the thing he did in Marvel Premiere, where he makes a javelin. When they did that javelin out of what was that? His spear, what was that?
No, it was it was the knife that he had on his strap to his thigh.
Knife stuck on Gorjune's spear
staff, yeah, and he wraps it with like vines that they had made rope out of, which we know how well that works when we try and do it. But because he's the Star God, obviously this is his thing. This is his talent, Matt.
Well,
he's just reusing his talent. Yeah, he's already done this.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I've got to point out, and I hate to beat this dead horse, as we watch this character have a vampiric soul-like gem that's stuck to his body while he wanders around some sort of weird, unknowable cosmos, lonely and racked with angst of prior wars and things they've seen. It's kind of a bit Adam Warlock, just throwing it out there. That's just...
You love that guy.
Oh, God. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Best Bronze Age Marvel comic. Full stop. Starling's Warlock, all right? I'm going to beat that horse to fucking death. I'm going to wear its skull, you know?
Yeah.
I tell you, man, if I had any kind of like coding ability or art skills, I would make a screensaver for my computer that was just Ditko/Steranko cosmic realms that just kind of go like on a Hanna-Barbera loop, and just the man wolf just like holding onto a javelin floating through there like the Little Prince. How fucking badass would that be?
Oh, I know what I'm going to get you for your birthday, Matt.
Okay, have fun with that.
Do you guys ever? There's like this action figure line they did for some DC characters of like the New Gods, and they're really cool. But the best part about them is they come with this little base that's like a clear resin Kirby crackle base.
Ooh,
what?
And it's like I just want to buy more of them just to have a bunch of those bases. They're really fucking cool.
I want to see.
I'll send you a picture of them.
Please.
It's the best Orion action figure I've ever seen. You know,
all right.
Fucking
I like Orion.
Yeah,
Orion's my favorite DC character. I don't even consider him a DC character, and I hate when the New Gods interact with the DC universe at all.
Yeah,
but,
it's a Kirby character that DC.
Yeah, it just happens to be around DC. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so this next page kicks ass. So he threw this javelin and broke the gravity of the planet. Says it worked better than I dared dream. Soon I was rocketing across galaxies, spanning star systems whose atomic structures seemed to alter and shift with the aid of the Godstone. Like just all of Kraft's words just made my head. It's like fucking popcorn in my brain cells. I found my way unfailingly through them all. My star spike directed that. Okay, the figure comes with a fucking star spike. We've already determined this. Unerringly toward the other realm, across the cold and unending vastness of space. Lots of missing letters in this issue.
So many missing letters. It's weird.
So he's flying through. I mean, again, it's like the Little Prince with where he lassos a star, but it's a javelin that he threw with God's capital G, God's strength. All right. So it's like he left a Super Mario Galaxy planetoid.
Yep.
And he's just flying, holding on to this thing. And this panel in the middle panel, says, just as I felt myself drawing closer and closer across vast, uninhabited universe of cosmic crystalline, that's supposed to say spheres?
It is, but it says shears because it's missing the P.
It says the emanations from the other realm abruptly ceased. And behind him, there's a giant Godstone on a red background, and him like dropping, like it's like he got struck from behind by a giant Godstone, and he's all cast in yellow and black. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
And so somehow he was basically going towards the other realm like a compass, like magnetic north. The javelin is leading him there, and all of a sudden it just stops. And so he lands. He's stranded now. Like his juice is gone. And so he's on this little moon, and he's just stuck there. Like he's just sitting on a moon stump with his sword down, just kind of leaning on there. And it looks like that guy who's waiting for a toe. Like, he's just like, fuck. And so this bottom row here made me love this character so much and Kraft so much more. So he's probably been there who knows how long, because, who knows how time works there. But he gets a plan. He's like, wait a minute. There's elements on this planetoid. So since his mind probes, so we're getting no response, he needs to make a gigantic transmission station whose signals would span the great beyond. So he starts quarrying and shaping a huge piece of crystal. And we see him like digging dirt away and finding this giant crystal. And then he mines copper. And we see his claws spinning copper around some piece of like some rod. And he spun wire from it. And then, final panel, he says, next, with alkaline pools and more copper, I created a series of simple but massive batteries. I harnessed the power of an entire world and bent it to my bidding. So this last panel, it looks like it's like the top of a 9-volt battery where he's got this giant U pointing down into 2 alkaline pools, and his claws are gesturing. Is that him dropping the metal like end into that second alkaline pool to like create a arc? Like, or is he manifest? I was trying to figure out, is he transmuting matter and just like God? Is he God?
I mean, I want him to be. I don't think he's Doctor Stranging that shit. I think that he's, because this is okay. So like you, I thought these 3 panels were like the greatest thing I'd ever read in comics. I was just like, he's mining copper with his fucking hands, like
God
digging
hands.
copper. Yeah. And making the wire, making these giant batteries. But yeah, I think that he's, and as we'll see on the next page, he's basically just, building a giant crystal radio, which I think actually fits with the whole thing of Kraft and his childhood, because guys of that era
loved
would
ham
have
radio.
They would have loved ham radio, or they would have read any number of Golden Age comics that had ads in the back, like build your own crystal radio.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, that was just what dudes did.
But do you realize now that the professor from Gilligan's Island is swinging at the end of a rope slowly back and forth? Like, my life was complete shit.
Yeah, totally. Because why couldn't he just fucking, use his claws to dig in the earth until he finds copper and then spin wire from it? Like, no,
coconut
this is
turntable.
Yeah,
come on.
No, this made me love Kraft more than I ever did. Like, I love this man.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, when you look at this thing in the macro and you try to break it down, I mean, it's got a lot of like dunderheaded, and then this happens sort of nonsense. But like, if you just kind of break it down to like, yeah, it's not a werewolf in a subatomic pocket universe that's inside of a pearl who then uses his werewolf god powers to build a radio transistor to talk to a hippie. And it's like that's a hell of a, and it's like, and that doesn't even address the green monster lawyer,
well, that's just window dressing for this story.
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot to download. Like, it's a truly in the whole, a truly psychedelic, bizarre thing. It's the type of sloppiness and weirdness that only this medium allows for, which I always love. Yeah,
well, and that's like, sorry, Jacob, but that's, Brad, exactly like whenever you say sand off the edges, like whenever like people are making a property and doing something else with it, it's like always the fun, weird personal fingerprints, the weird little quirks that get lost. Like,
oftentimes in sacrifice for something that approaches more sophistication or story sophistication, which is a shame, because a lot of the deeply weird aspects of it get lost.
Yep.
Which
and
is why
that's what attracts me. That's what gets me excited. This stuff in this issue. I mean, I found out that I'm interested in reading Savage She-Hulk. That's a revelation to me. But like, this stuff in here is like, oh my God! Like, if they ever did anything with this character, like the David Kraft saga is it. But that if Marvel does, and Disney does anything with John Jameson, it's going to be as a ravening werewolf who came from space.
Well, if they did the space werewolf thing, it would just be more clever than strange.
Yeah,
I think.
I like to try and be a positive, which is really rare for me. I don't know why I'm doing it right now, but I'd like to imagine that the three of us gentlemen are enjoying this Star God character and property before it gets wildly popular. Like we're here at the beginning. We're here, singing its praises, being like, craft Star God is the way to go. Like that is the thing to develop. That is the thing that is so beautiful that it needs to go somewhere else. It can't just be left alone like this.
I say leave it here, but leave it in all its strangeness here and let people read it. Because otherwise it's like, now I'm going to get the sort of popular accepted idea of another Starlin character, Adam Warlock, is just going to be buried in sitcom jokes and probably be like, like it'll be good for the movie and the story that Gunn is trying to tell, I'm sure. But it's like, damn it, there goes all the weirdness. There goes the truly strange aspects. I mean, I like Will Poulter as an actor, and I'm sure it'll be in service of whatever they're trying to achieve. But it's like, I like the clunky, sloppy, crazy, fly by the seat of your pants. You got a month to finish this, kid.
The messiness
nonsense. Yeah.
Is where all the genius comes out for me. Like, it's just
the messiness is great, but I just feel so privileged to enjoy it and all its weirdness in these issues and try to get people to understand how cool it is and get more people to read Kraft's Star God issues just because they're so good. I feel very lucky that we're able to do that.
Absolutely.
But yes, I agree with you 100%. But I also hear Brad, and it's just like, with Gunn and whatever, like, do we need to flash forward like 3 years where Will Poulter standing around next to a guy in a Star God costume going, could you be any more Star God? Whatever, some fucking Chandler bullshit that, it's like, oh, audiences chuckled, so they loved it.
Well, and then it's like, you sort of, these things sort of lose their counterculture and fringe element appeal to me sometimes. Even though they're meant to be broadly consumed, I'm not saying they're like truly, but there is an aspect of like fringe to them,
Honestly, if
it's not Fritz the Cat.
No, it's not Fritz the Cat. Yeah. And if I had unlimited funds, if I could just take Star God and put him in something, I would make a Filmation style cartoon of the Star God style. Like that's just what I would do. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, it's good that it's here. We should just leave it here.
Yeah,
but still find a way to get what's his name a bunch of money.
Yeah, I ultimately agree with you, Brad. I know that it's the best thing just to let it be what it is and love it for what it is. But, I agree with Jacob too. Let's take out the fact that we're the ones here going Ricola about Star God. So,
yeah, I'm honestly just talking about how great the three of us are.
Yeah.
Like at the heart of my argument.
I know, but I'm anticipating when I can say I was in the Star God way before he was popular.
Well, that's that's
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my whole reason for being. I
wax my handlebar mustache.
Yeah, I have my cred established that we like Star God first. And so now I'm happy on the inside. So but the real climax to this mining and building a radio story is on the next page in the first panel. Yeah, he says, I built a crystal transmitter receiver that spanned the globe that could beam a broad range radio signal to location light years away. And so, yeah, he's obviously he's telling this to Richard, and he's saying, be that as it may, there is not much time, Richard. Listen closely. I must return to the other realm before it's too late. You must, Richard, are you receiving me? And he says, no, our radio contact has been broken. And we flash back to Richard's studio, which has just exploded in this big bazap and like knocks him back and shocks him. Yeah, he's like, yow. And then, and Star God's very upset. He's saying, oh, I've lost my last hope of saving the other realm. God, I really feel like the letters are all over the fucking place. Mm-hmm. Like, I swear there's another instant where there's a double word and there's so many letters missing. Like, yeah, whoever was the letterer, not doing a great job.
No.
But we see on the final panel down there that Rory, he's like, oh no, just when the man wolf needs me most, all my expensive equipment overloaded, the circuits are burned and melted. So he's like, the station is ruined. And worse, I can't do anything about it because all my money's gone. All his bread was spent on this station, man.
Yeah, man. I love that panel on the left of the middle row where, Man Wolf's like wrapping up his reverie, and he's like, Richard, are you there? But he looks like he's a dog with peanut butter in his mouth, just like,
he does.
And I love that other panel on the other side where it's just like a portrait, like it's like a high school senior picture of the man wolf, where he's like, that my last hope. He looks very concerned, but he's deep. This is a little Lord Fauntleroy kind of pose.
I'm digging Vosburgh Star God. I don't know about you guys, but I'm digging it.
Love it. So on the next page, we cut away half a continent away to New Jersey. So I'm guessing this is a Defenders thing because there's Valkyrie and Hellcat.
Yep.
And she's like, hey, Valkyrie, come to the disco with me. Let's boogie down. And she's like, I care not to recline in a public place with you, and then there's a cool little instance.
I like that banter. I like their little relationship. I like the idea of like these two. I was into it.
Yeah.
I'm like within one little page, I completely got, if you were like new to the thing, I completely got their dynamic,
I appreciate the economy employed here, but my issue is that Patsy Walker apparently is like every dumpy, dowdy secretary you've ever worked with that had a Ziggy calendar on her desk. Like, her fucking jokes are fucking awful through this thing. Like, you deserve to get punched in the nose at least once for this collection. Anyway, so behind her, there's a Doctor Strange looking cloak.
Ziggy calendar.
And as she's like talking to her, and Valkyrie's like, no, stop bugging me. I'm not going to go to the disco with you. These hands reach out of this cloak on the coat rack and grab her, cover her mouth, and then pull her in. And Valkyrie's like, whoa, Patsy, where'd she go? I guess she's taking the shadow cloak with her. So they somehow used the portal and pulled the portal source in with them and made that disappear as well. And on the bottom of the page, we cut to this thing. It doesn't really matter, but it's Jen kind of talking about being lonely, and then ever since mom died, blah, blah, blah. And she leaves, and just as she's leaving down one path, Zapper is coming up another path with some flowers. He wants to surprise her, and he's like, oh, she's not here, so I'll just leave the flowers on the doorstep.
Yeah, this is not a ton happens story wise, but this is character development that's happening on this page.
Right.
I mean, people are getting sucked into cloaks. You gotta, there's a lot going on. This dude with the flowers is a nice little respite. He's got a hell of a cool haircut. I dig it. He's rocking
sweet pants.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Zappers. I like
his
Zapper and
whole
Rory.
look. I like his whole look.
So we go back on the next page. We go back to Rory at the station, who's thinking like, "Oh, I really hate to do this, but it's the only way I can raise enough cash to fly to California and see Jen. Like, she needs me, and I need her." And so he's tries to sell the remnants of the station to like the cigar chomping fat cat guy named Carpenter. And Rory's like, "Name your price," to which Carpenter like offers him $5,000. It's just total insult. And Rory's like, "It's worth 10 times that." But then he has to take the deal, and but he also takes the tape featuring his long distance conversation with the Star God, and I love his look of satisfaction in that panel to where
log lady,
Carpenter's he looks like the log lady from Twin Peaks, and Carpenter's yelling after him like, "You always run because you always fail." Yeah, and Rory's like, "Not this time, I won't."
I don't know what his plan is with this message, because it's just somebody talking. It's like, no, trust me, it's a alternate dimensional being on this tape. And they're like,
no, he sees a whole career path to where he's basically Art Bell, but
and he's just gonna. It's like, yeah, dude, Galactus came down and fucked up New York. Like, where the hell? Like, nobody cares. It's like, no, trust me. There's like a guy in another dimension. It's like, yeah, we know that Thor hangs out here. What do you want with us?
But I love that the capitalist, profiteer guy is just like, hey, that's station property. Like, I don't know what a man wolf is or a tape is or a
but that's
hippie
mine.
is.
I just bought
that's
that.
Mine.
Yeah. And so on the bottom, the final panel on this is on this page is of Hellcat yelling at some very similar, or they're pretty familiar silhouettes, really. And she's saying, like, I don't know who you are or why I've been catnapped, but you'll soon see that this kitty has claws. And yeah, we know who she's talking to and where she is.
Well, you see the mustache and the silhouette.
I see the mustache. Yeah, I see those silhouettes. I know.
The scientifically evolved fantasy barbarians.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they're science barbarians, Brad. It's been established.
So I'm happy to see Lambert and Gore and Garth again, but I'm not going to belabor this page too much here. But she's basically confronting them and saying, "Criminy, okay, criminy. I've been bushwhacked by a bunch of barbarians." Here's her speech is really weird in this thing.
Isn't it criminy? Like Jiminy?
I've always said criminy.
Jiminy, maybe it is criminy.
Since I was a kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those many things where it's like, we can't say Jesus Christ. So what are all the variations and weird things we can say to have it be
criminy?
What in criminy?
Yeah.
So she's like, slashing away at these guys, holding them at bay. And then she kicks Garth in the face, nimbly lands down as Gore June's like, you're never going to get the drop on me, lady. And she's like, I don't have to. And she just somehow magically picks up Garth, throws him over her shoulder in judo into Gore June. And Lambert with his, if you guys don't remember, he lost his hands to, what's that villain's name? The dude from the God War.
Arison Turk.
Arison Turk's torture chamber. So he just has metal stumps over where his wrists are. And he's like, out of my way, you obstreperous idiot. I may have no hands, but I can still cast a spell to end this farce. And Gorgon's like having none of that. He's like, no. She cheated using Garth against me. She's going to pay now. So there's just a little bit of, Gorgon is very much based on that dwarf from the Lord of the Rings. He's just that same guy.
You just think he's Gimli incarnate? Is that what you're saying?
Isn't his kind of attitude? And I mean, he's Gimli who talks like the Thing 50% of the time.
Yeah.
That's actually a really solid description of Gorgon. I think that should be in his wiki.
And I'm saying that because he's like a brother. Like, I can insult him.
You can, yeah. If anyone else does, we'll fight him to the death.
Oh yeah,
but yeah. No, you're right.
I just like Matt's seething hatred of Hellcat.
She's just
she's a dork. It's really coming out.
Yeah.
So you don't like her for her quips. Like you think her quips are lame. So that's why you're taking an anti Patsy Walker stance.
So you guys are attacking me. So I'm just going to go ahead and come out here. Later, I'm going to go ahead and spoil something. When Lambert reveals that his world is doomed, where she is trapped, she says, "My, that's a catastrophe."
Yeah, 10 comedy points. I approve of it.
She's that person that
Brad likes it.
That cuts the birthday cake at every office party and has to hand out all the
and this office. Who hurt you, Matt?
I hate dumpy secretaries. I hate office humor, like all the corny jokes at every meeting where it's like
calendar, the specificity of the Ziggy calendars. If we're all like, oh yeah, that. Like,
come on. Ziggy is shorthand for a shitty normie with a bad sense of humor. Everybody knows that.
I just think
Jacob, please tell me you got my back here.
Just get it off your chest, Matt. Just let it out.
It's the specificity that makes it great.
Is Ziggy the fucking equivalent of shitty, lame humor? Please, somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will give that to you. You're right.
So if I'm saying that shorthand as someone who's like this person moves into the desk next to you and like, okay, I have to warn you, I'm a bit of a kook. So here's my Ziggy snow globe and here's my Garfield day-to-day calendar where it's just all about lasagna. We got so much fun together. Like,
I mean, you're right. I just think Brad's bringing up the point that these are very specific things you're bringing up.
These are her jokes, dude. She's a shitty quipster. Quipstrix.
She is a shitty Quipstrix. Okay, all right. No. I'm willing to give you that. You're right.
I started this show. I feel like I should be given a modicum of respect.
Oh man! All right. I'm just gonna go on to the next page.
This whole sequence has been a catastrophe.
Yeah. So on the next page, Gorjun zaps Hellcat with his power staff, and she's out. She's out, Matt. She's not talking anymore. She's
Thank
not
God.
giving any more bad jokes. So, yeah, and Gore even says, "Don't worry, Lambert. I set it to stun. She'll wake up with a hell of a headache." And then there's a balloon that is missing multiple words. What we see in this balloon is the bind her us be gone. Like, did you try and figure out, like, what did you think?
I know what it's supposed to say.
Okay, what is it supposed to say?
Then bind her and let us be gone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But how weird, like I don't know. I mean, no disrespect to Joe Duffy, but I would have caught that.
Well, who
had I
did
just
the
read-
lettering on this? That's who we really need to.
Well, it's the Higgins, I think, was his
Oh,
name.
yeah.
And,
See, that's a pseudonym. It's like Figgins or whatever.
It's a pseudonym, but also like you edit stuff. Like, this is the buck stops here kind of thing. Like, if you're an editor and you see this, you just be like, oh no, that's a literal mistake. Like,
This
I
is a
should
DC
probably
mole.
I should probably yeah. Okay. Wow.
Do you think?
Wow.
Do you think Patsy has a "Hang in there, Kitty"
Oh,
poster?
God, yes.
up?
Yes.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
we're Far Side guys here dealing with this fucking Ziggy level Toad. It's bad.
That's deep. It's pretty deep.
It's really, it's not that that I don't understand the characterization, but it's just the true, like, from the pit of your being, hatred that it comes up in you is hilarious and must be addressed. We couldn't just move on from it.
I punny jokes have been like a major sore point for me my entire life. It's a known fact about me.
Well, I think we should go back to what Brad
puns.
originally said, is that who hurt you? Who first hurled puns at you to cause this level of vitriol? Let's get back to the very source. Fuck this comic, Matt. Let's just talk about you.
What lady in a pantsuit dressed with the cupcake colors said that you had a case of the Mondays one too many
Exactly.
times?
Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of, as like Office Space receptionist. Yeah.
Man, this is so good.
I just go home and it's just been a long day, and I got my 4 cats, and I get into a hot bath and read my Grishams, and I have Strawberry Hill wine, and I Weight Watchers frozen dinner, and I just watch my programs, and I get my stories, and I go to bed. I TiVo the stories.
The programs, the stories.
Days of Our Lives, and General Hospital, and
well, and then when she's feeling really randy, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Yep. That's a deep reference.
Oh man.
That's for masturbation nights.
Just like
Fortnightly.
Yeah.
Fortnightly.
Only fortnightly.
Yeah. She's deeply Christian.
Yeah.
Who is the guy in Dr. Quinn? What's that actor's name? He was in Sex and the City, I think, as well.
Yep.
Shit.
Whatever.
What is his name?
She probably just sits there and hopes the cat turns into him. You know, her favorite cat just becomes.
Oh man.
But I love that you've mapped this over Hellcat. This is great.
Joe Lando, apparently.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe I got this wrong. Maybe I got the guy wrong or something.
I don't know if he was, but yeah.
My grandma loved Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. You know, I watched that with her. You know, Jane Seymour's a fox.
She is.
No one's going to argue that.
Although she lost points with me after she developed that shitty jewelry line with like Ben Bridge, whoever it is. Like,
Come on, she's just trying to cash in.
a shitty heart crusted in shitty fucking. I don't know.
It was called something cool, like I
Geodes.
can't remember what it was called. It was called something really cheesy and amazing, like the Jane
It's
Seymour
incredible that you know this. To be
Sacred
honest.
Heart collection.
Yes.
I don't remember that at all.
I've watched enough daytime TV. I've watched enough
it's
Perry
now.
Mason at 11 a.m. You know, to see.
Yeah, this is a
see some
modern
Jane-
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Perry Mason. That's one of my
whenever
favorite shows.
whenever the ad comes on, I tell Renee I'm buying her that for Valentine's, and she punches me in the arm as hard as she can.
Y'all check out the HBO Perry Mason.
Yes, I liked it.
I hated it. They could not have been more of a fundamental misread of what makes Perry Mason work.
Oh no,
He's
it's not. I'm not associating it with the previous series at all. To me, it's a completely different, like Earth 2 Perry Mason prequel. Like it's
but just how many like damaged, first of all, it's like in that time, you couldn't walk around as a professional with a 5 o'clock shadow, but we got to give him this like 5 o'clock shadow, and he's all like morose and kind of anti-hero-ish. It's like Perry Mason should be the most boring, bland, good guy motherfucker. He's so righteous. He's like a minister. You can't.
This is his path to becoming Perry Mason. Like this is his. Where he gets tempered.
That's no. Okay. He's just righteous. He walks in a seedy world. It's like he's got to have this bland, righteous, implacable sort of character. And the world around him is grim and dark, but he cannot be moved. I don't want to see him be an alcoholic. In the books, he's never described. Like there's no given details to him really, because it's just his actions that matter. And he's sort of almost nebulously referred to, even though he's the main character. And I'm a huge fan of the old show. I love that show to death. And it's like, there's a million law shows with the 5 o'clock shadow burnout guy. Give me just one where the guy just is like
he's climbing out of a hole to become Perry Mason.
We have enough of those.
Okay.
Anywho.
Okay. I think you're just secretly mad that Paul Drake is black in this, so I think we've all figured out what's going on.
Who?
I'm just going to sit back and let you guys do this because it's really entertaining.
Paul Drake? You don't know who Paul Drake is? I thought you were a Perry Mason fan.
No, I don't. Is that the actor?
This is so many gauntlets are being thrown right now. I can't keep track.
I know you're messing.
I just don't. To me, it was like a big missed opportunity for a big budget, really cool thing set in a really cool time with a really specific type of main character that does not exist anywhere anymore right now. Like they just do not have that type of figure. I don't care who they make. They can make Perry Mason anything, but just make them righteous, Anywho.
No, I get it. So Matt's been trying to get me to watch it, and I probably will watch it on my own, but my wife refuses to watch it because she is kind of what you're saying. She has this very specific way that she loves Perry Mason.
You married a good woman.
Thank you. I'd like to think so. For her Perry Mason opinions alone.
Just that alone.
Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
It's got Tatiana Maslany in it.
Yeah, it does.
She's Jen Walters.
Yeah, she's Jen Walters in the new She-Hulk.
Speaking of shows I'll never watch,
Okay.
You guys check out Moon Knight?
Yeah, we checked it out. I thought it was great.
I couldn't get into it. Just couldn't do it.
I liked an unconventional approach to a complicated character with a lot of history.
See, for me, it was just for some reason, like a lot of these shows, if they make kind of lateral moves that will piss off a lot of like fanboys, I really enjoy that. So I really enjoyed a Moon Knight series where you basically maybe get like 12 minutes of actual Moon Knight, like fighting.
I care less about that. I just didn't think it needed to be so damn long because I love Moon Knight. It's like that weird thing where it's like not quite a movie, but not episodic. So it just kind of wheel spins too much, No,
I mean, I think that's a fair point. And I understand.
Also there's this weird thing I had with the show where it's like Oscar Isaac's great, by the way. And he's a movie star, right?
Yes.
Like he's a really good actor and he just like pops and it's just like, holy shit. And instead of surrounding him with like really good, like character actor faces, it's like he's in like TV land and it's really jarring to me. Like the other actors around him that are like this, like side characters just feel like have this like a TV feel. And it's like really weird. Like the people who work at the museum and stuff. Like,
Oh.
I just really found it like jarring. It's like,
No, I see what you're
like,
saying. Now that you said
it'd be
that,
like it'd be like Robert De Niro walks into Melrose Place. You'd be like, what the fuck? It would just be really, you know.
That's
well,
an
it's
interesting
like
point.
Wings Hauser and Melrose Place.
Actually, yes. I mean, which actually would, I take it all back. That would rule. That would be the greatest show ever. But
So-
he has to be in character as Wings Hauser.
Oh man!
Well, he was
we
on
would love
90210
that.
as
He was.
a scuzzy ex FBI merc, and it's
Close
fucking
to-
amazing. Where he takes Luke Perry's character on they go on a mission to Mexico to get his stolen money back. It's fucking amazing.
Oh man!
That sounds incredible. Actually,
J.J. Jones,
Oh.
so anyway,
Yeah.
Manwolf.
Manwolf. Where were we? Is it me or you? It's you.
Yeah, I was just finishing up the page. So to recap, Gorjun has just zapped Hellcat, and him and Lambert and Garth have some questionable banter, talking about that they still can't contact the Star God, so they don't know what's happening. And then on the final two panels of this page, we get another that panel on the left bottom, something we love, which is Jen Walter. She's standing over her mother's grave. There's a giant floating head of She-Hulk in the background. Yes, Matt?
In the middle, first of all, these panels are weird shapes, which is cool. But Gorjun says, "What you waiting for, Goldilocks?"
Yeah, I called it banter. Yeah.
Goldilocks exists throughout the multiverse. In every world, there is a Goldilocks story, fairy tale that we all reference collectively.
Yeah, but I wouldn't, if you told me that Gorjun like referenced the Bronx, I wouldn't be shocked, like
That seems less weird than like a very specific like European fairy tale.
But and also remember in the Marvel premiere, or at least maybe in Creatures on the Loose 37, they're all speaking an alien language too, by the way, Matt, if you remember correctly.
Christ.
So
another layer of what?
Yeah, another layer of craziness is laid upon that. So yeah, like you said, Gorjun is the thing half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the final panel on this page, we have kind of a forlorn Jen over her mom's grave, being like, I'm not sure I can live with myself. I know no one else can. They've all left me, even Dad. And so, yeah, it's this very, again, we're kind of back to romance land, which I feel like this art team does really well.
Kelly. Sorry, look at my hand. That was gross.
Gross. Dogs.
I love the giant She-Hulk head floating above with the cloud mustache.
Yeah, the cloud mustache made it. Yeah,
That art is
It's
rad.
So funny. It's great. I love the art in this issue.
So it continues on the next page, and she's, blah, blah. So let's just cut to, it says, as Jen leaves the cemetery, which is misspelled, we return to the other realm to find, and it says it takes but the power of thought to activate the shadow cloak and cause it to take us to the one we seek. And so they're looking through this portal, like, a big circle iris at Jen, who's walking through a mall as she leaves the cemetery. And they jump through this portal and come out, and they're like, wait, the cloak told us it was taking us to She-Hulk. That's not She-Hulk. What the fuck? And so they're like, well, let's just ask her. And so they're like, hey, you, we're looking for the She-Hulk. And she's like, barbarians appearing out of thin air. Kind of a weird page, but I do like that Dick Coey where they're looking through the portal and it's like this black, it's almost like the negative zone or whatever the fucking thing is from Superman movie, the prison.
Yeah, it definitely has that feel, or it's like a Kubrick monolith or something.
Yeah.
That's
It's just out in this weird cosmic litter.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the space, what we'll later learn is something else, is very Ditko Doctor Strange, and I'm never going to complain about that aesthetic being used.
Nope.
So on the next page, so yeah, this at first, Jen, so the first three panels are her like, oh, I don't want to transform. And then she's like, well, wait a second. I've been really frustrated. Maybe I just need to transform into She-Hulk and just let it all out and just take all the frustration I have out on these weird barbarians that just appeared. She's like, fuck these guys. I'll just take it out on them. So I kind of liked her emotional pivot there. I thought it was actually pretty smart. And so, yeah, she transforms into She-Hulk and, just starts kind of beating the shit out of the three of them. Takes on Garth and Gorjun, and they're just like, hold her and I'll put her through the shadow cloak. And she's like, hold me? You puny weaklings think you can hold the She-Hulk? She's like, I'm the strongest woman in the world, and just tosses all of them aside, which I love that bottom panel where she.
I do too.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah,
flipping them like pancakes.
I know, it's so good.
And the top of the next page, I love that panel, first panel of her leaping down like she's done, right? And these guys are so outclassed. And the next panel has Garth and Gorjun like huddling together in fear, like, Garth, did you see? Hey, she's cleared the courtyard in one bound, coming straight toward us. And they're just like shitting themselves. So Comicsgate would be really angry about this. Yeah. And I love this middle panel where she's like diving into them, and there's this like schmo. I don't know how else to describe him. He's got, he's just a schmuck dude. He's got a green plaid sport coat on, a white fedora, and then a white and orange polka dotted undershirt, and he's chomping on a cigar. Everybody has to have a cigar.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, that's no staged match. It's the real thing. So everyone thinks this is a wrestling match for some promotional thing, and he's horrified. And he's yeah. He's like in his earliest stages before he morphs into Jabba the Hutt. And then this great panel on the lower left of Lambert in purples with a fuchsia background. And he's like, curse the stars. I had hoped to talk to her, discover the mysterious link between She-Hulk and the other realm. But because of Gorjun's impetuosity, I fear all may be lost. So Gorjun's zapping her with his staff, and he's like, you're still standing. And he's just horrified that nothing is working against her, and she's just taking them apart.
Yeah, it's a cool page. I agree with you, Matt. That weird schmo in the middle panel is so funny.
I like the She-Hulk action. I always like any type of Hulk action in a comic. It's so suited for comics because they've got to land, they jump high, throw things. It's all big and meaty and fun.
Super big
type of action. Yeah, and oftentimes characters in superhero stuff, they fly and stuff like that, so they're more floating, disembodied from their weight, where it's like, Hulk action scenes always, when they're done right, they got like nice fun weight to them.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. Yeah.
They're leaving like a little crater when they land. Like,
yeah.
Everything's that's what you want to see.
So a lot of good motion and fisticuffs, big burly haymakers and stuff. I always like that.
Word.
So on the next page, I mean, the action's about to really ramp up to an amazing level. And so, She-Hulk in this tiny little panel has taken Gorjun out. And then, this page is rad. So Lambert says, halt, She-Hulk. And then he raises his arms, like opening the cloak. And She-Hulk's like, oh, you're raising your arms, surrendering. And then we see in the narration, Lambert says, you shall soon see that I do not acknowledge defeat, replies the sorcerer. Even as he speaks, the shadow cloak swirls suddenly with the power of his thought, and an eerie opening appears within it. And he says, you may have bested the two greatest warriors of my world, but there are more where they came from, and not even the She-Hulk can withstand the combined might of the entire elite army of the other realm. And so as he's opening his cloak as wide as possible, and just like you said, Matt, like Cloak from Cloak and Dagger, just a ton, just an army of barbarians comes out from his cloak from Other Realm, and they say the She-Hulk must be captured at any cost. Attack! And I love that bottom panel of all the warriors coming out from his cloak. Super badass.
That first panel is really weird. It's this tiny square. It says Wham in blue on a red background, and just Gorjun's wrist.
Yeah, and it's a weird breakup of She-Hulk because at the bottom of the last page, it's like, isn't that just too bad for you? And it doesn't translate well. Like it does, it's not
She's
broken up
punching
properly.
him, right? Like,
yeah, but why does it have to be off panel? Like it's so weird. It's
and
the weirdest.
why is the subject of the panel the punch ease of hand?
I know. No, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's totally weird.
That did not work for me, but I like it as a pop art panel, but it doesn't work as a storytelling panel.
No, but there's the rest of the panels on this page are rad, so that makes up for it. Yeah.
And when I love that bottom panel of Lambert like opening with his stumped handless arms, opening his cloak as this army of barbarians pour out, and he's saying, "In the name of the Star God, for the safety of the other realm." Like that's gonna be part of my just vocabulary now. That's how I say prayers at night.
Oh man,
with my daughter, I do this every night with her. So. This next page is so fucking cool. It is divided into 3 columns, and it's just She-Hulk fucking cleaning these dudes' clocks, like picking one dude up by his like tunic over her head, and just like, you'll never beat me, never, never. And this middle panel is her just screaming that at Lambert, and in the foreground, he's in the bottom, really small, saying, "Would that I but had my hands. Without them, I am reduced to naught save the simplest of magic." So he's, a magician. Like we talked about this, how sad this was when it was revealed that his hands were amputated, because that was, a thing you would do to a magician in a torture chamber. And so he can't manifest, astral hands to do the spell work. He's limited. And he's saying, I fear that she may in sooth be right, that not all the physical force at my command can stop the She-Hulk. And she's again just throwing these dudes over her shoulder. And she's saying, say your prayers, old man, because once I pulverize this bunch of pansies and pushovers, and she hasn't broken a sweat yet. And she's pissed too. I love this.
I can see you, Matt, summoning an army of space barbarians to attack some lady named Debbie who works in scheduling.
Fucking Debbie. I don't want to talk about the carpool. I take the train, Debbie.
Yeah.
Stop forwarding me all these emails.
Oh man. So yeah, on the next page,
Matt, to show you that joke she saw that's 5 months old, but she's just saying it, like.
No, it's cute because it's the family circus, but you see all their footprints and where all the kids went in the yard. I love this one. And I love when there's angels in family circle. Family circus.
Yeah. Leash, unholy terror upon her,
Yes.
all right. So yeah, on the next page, yeah, Jen's kind of making her way toward Lambert, saying, I'm coming for you, and I'm going to make sure you won't hassle the She-Hulk again. And Lambert says, I am certain you would, were you to lay hands on me, but as long as I wear the shadow cloak, that shall never happen. So yeah, she's like, you can call your crummy cape anything you want, but once I grab it, you're gone. And then as she says that, he just kind of, blinks out of reality with a fa-whoop and a pwat.
Point.
Point. She says, okay, if that's the way you want it, but when you come back, old man, you'll find me waiting. And so, she looks like, I'm going to tear this little cloak to shreds. And then here's some sirens. And it's like, I forgot the courthouse is just beyond the shopping center. I better clear out of here. She does a great Hulk leap out of there. Just that boing, which I always thought was so great when her or the Incredible Hulk would do that.
So she's not in the Defenders at this point. Because that was a rotating team, right? Pretty much.
I think, yeah.
So Hellcat, I guess I was making assumptions. Like I was assuming Hellcat was like friends with her or something, but this is not that at all. Lambert somehow sent out some probe across the realities and tapped into the Shadow Cloak as a possible tool to bring them to where the Man-Wolf was, right?
I think so.
She's not a character in this book. That was just a convenience of, because he wrote Defenders and Shadow Cloak existed in the Defenders book. Patsy Walker had it for a while.
Yes.
So Kraft is just like, well, I have this tool to get them there. I just got to get Hellcat in here.
I think so, but I also feel like this is one of those instances where we may be corrected by someone who is more up on their defenders, like Michelle. We'll ask Michelle will let us know next week when we talk to her on this issue.
Screaming at this episode right now for all the
I'm sure she is, and I apologize to you,
that's
Michelle.
where you would call 971-220-JUNK.
Yeah.
And let us know where do we fail here. But I have a feeling, I'm predicting that this is the first appearance of Hellcat in the Savage She-Hulk, and it was just a matter of getting this tool that Kraft had already created and inserted into the Defenders into this book to get the Other Realm folks here.
All right, we're gonna tune in next week to see how wrong Matt is. We'll just we'll find out.
I bet my left testicle.
Okay, that's on record, my friend.
That's the dead one. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just cosmetic at this point. It's not even real. It's a wax plum that I got from a IKEA showcase. Yeah. So back in the Other Realm, that point sound has Lambert falling through back into this reality and landing on his ass. And Hellcat has to say something fucking stupid like jumping Jehoshaphat. So she's all tied up and she's like, oh shit,
oh shit.
You guys, they won again, didn't they? Serves you right for bushwhacking a girl on her way to the disco. And he's like, yeah, we lost. And he magically cuts her bonds that are tying her up. And she's like, hey, watch it, Wiz. My tissue is tender. You guys don't hate her guts? I hate every fucking thing that comes out of her mouth.
I just don't.
Alliteration, puns, cat jokes.
It didn't come up for me.
God. So she,
you didn't register.
So whatever, fuck it. I'm moving on. But that does not mean you can return to Earth. She's like, why not? Well, She-Hulk has the Shadow Cloak. And she's like, so I'm trapped here. And he's like, yeah, but that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is that our world is dying and it's imminently collapsing. And there's no way to escape now because I don't have the Shadow Cloak. And she says, you mean you're really not the bad guys after all? Why didn't you say so? Nuts. And for me, it will really be a cataclysm.
Okay, that is pretty annoying.
Cat-aclysm.
I see very little difference between her and Stan Lee, I got to be honest.
I would kick her to death if I met her in real life. Curb stomp.
Damn.
American History Act.
You have it here first. He's going to blow a pound full of puppies, and then he's going to stomp Hellcat to death.
Somebody call PETA. Matt's out of control.
Oh, Matt, you're out of control. No, all of her cat puns. Do you remember, of course, Edie Williams from Beyond the Valley of Dolls. Mm-hmm. She was in an episode of Batman as a waitress in Catwoman's cat club, and she's reading the menu to Batman and is saying like it's all just cat puns. Like that's all that I went to. I went to a young Edie Williams in Batman, not to curb stomping. I went to laughter, Matt.
Okay.
Speaking of cat puns, it always bothered me in the show SWAT Cats that there's a lot of cat puns in that show, but the city they live in is just called Mega Cat City. How lazy is that?
That's not a pun.
Like you have Cat Hatton right there for the taking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
are endless, and yet they're like, what should we call the city?
And people are like, why is Matt angry? This
Mega Cat City, it's like, come on, try a little harder, SWAT Cats. That's all I'm saying.
And for the record, Jacob, as far as Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, I'm more of a Dolly Reed guy, but I follow you. And
we're all Dolly Reed guys, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah, So this next page, is just straight up from a romance comic, which of course, we have no problem with. Mm-mm. But back at home, Jen finds the flowers from Zapper, but then there's a knock at the door and Richard is there. And he's saying like, oh, because she opens the door saying like, Zapper, darling, you don't know how much Richard, it's you. And he's like, it's not exactly the warm welcome I was expecting. And so she, invites him in. He's like, "Oh, you're not happy to see me." And then the doorbell rings, and he's like, "Don't bother explaining. I bet that's who you were really expecting." And it's Zapper. And she's very excited and says, "Zapper, thank you for the flowers. You mean so much to me." And then Zapper sees Richard, is like, "Was he here?" And yeah, it's a big kind of mistaken thing.
I love this shit.
And
Anyone
I know, I do too.
notice that the names of the men fighting her for are ostensibly Dick and Zapper?
Yeah.
He prefers Dicker, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And so, yeah, Zapper drops the flowers. And it's just like, slams the door and is like, "I love you, Jen, but the way I feel right now, I never want to see you again."
I eat this shit up.
Oh, I know. It's so dramatic and rad. Yeah, I love that page.
Can you imagine losing your girl to a dude named Zapper? What a drag.
That
That's
looks
a
like
drag.
Paul Williams that was put on a rack. Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. He's like John Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at the last page here. This was a long issue, by the way. Like,
23 pages of story, or 22. Yeah, 23 on the cover. Yeah.
which is like, we had like 16 page stories for a while.
Yeah.
Brad, you look awesome right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very dramatic lighting.
It's very dramatic.
So, okay. I'm going to just kind of, I can't elide over this page. This page needs to be, this is the crux of the issue, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So she's upset. She's crying. She says, "Richard, I can't let him run off. He's like a brother to me." So boom, Zapper's like a brother to her. I bet he doesn't know that. What the fuck?
He's not happy.
Richard's got her arm around her and is like, hey, he's just overwrought, Jen. He'll cool down. I'm sorry I screwed things up again, like always. May I present a peace offering? And he's holding up a string of pearls. And she says, "It's my necklace, the one that used to be Mom's." She's like, "I thought I lost it." He's like, "You did, at my radio station. I'm bringing it back to where it belongs. Are we friends again?" As he's putting it around her neck. And she says, "Again and always." And in the background of this beautiful scene, through the window, is Zapper turning his head going, like looking at them shocked, which I fucking love. I just want to do like a zoom in. I'm going to do a push in on Instagram of that. Okay, so this middle row, we get this long series of these little boxes that says, first it shows the cleavage and the pearls, and it says, "Unknown to Rory, the sole source of his outer space messages has all along been close as his own pocket." And then we push in super tight on a pearl for deep within the subatomic depths of the necklace. And then we go inside the pearl to subatomic space on one of the many worlds of a unique crystalline microverse, and then even deeper to subatomic space, stands a subminiature man-wolf. He doesn't know where he is or what his relative size. And then we're deeper in this world of just nonsense into a planetoid. He doesn't know that the vast distance he traversed was less than half the diameter of a single pearl. He doesn't know that the radiation that he sensed from the other realm waxed and waned in direct relation to the ebb and flow of the radiation in the bloodstream of Jennifer Walters and the She-Hulk. What? Okay. Yeah. Then the final panel here is this little montage kind of, or just, it's just a big portrait, a landscape of him like standing with the bloodstone, the moon, the Godstone, like giant floating in space, his homemade radio station on his planetoid next to his crystalline ham radio set. And it says he doesn't know that despite a power station spanning a world, his radio broadcasts were almost too weak for Rory to receive due to his diminutive size. Doesn't know that the incalculable space on a sub-microscopic scale between California and Florida, between Jen and her necklace, is what caused him to lose contact with his home. He knows only that he is back once more near the other realm. And he's like exulting in excitement, like, oh my God, like, the radio station's working now. And it says, he thinks, alas, I sense carnage, a cosmic chain reaction already underway, set to destroy the one world which I am sworn as the star god to save. And if the other realm is destroyed, can Earth be long to follow into oblivion? Be here next issue for another slice of Life in the Bloodstream. When
a tremendous final page.
Oh, it's amazing.
What the fuck, man? I read that like 3 times.
Oh,
And I think I sent Jacob some pictures. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he went into subatomic space when he went through that portal last issue and has been floating inside the matter of a pearl. That blew my mind.
Was dropped in a radio station by a giant green lady. Like, it is truly mad. Truly mad. Yeah.
And I don't know how. Go ahead, Jacob.
I was going to say, remember how Kraft told that story in his giant interview to where they're like, oh, your stuff is really psychedelic. And Kraft is like, oh, I really only, used acid once. Well, I guess I bought a ton from a guy and then I did it all in 1 month.
Yeah.
And
he
that's
bought, like,
all
3
I
sheets
needed
of
to
acid
do.
And did them in like 3 days.
3 sheets of acid, did a couple hits a day for a month. And I'm pretty sure that this storyline came from that.
Yeah, it's great. I loved this final little section. It's like, little did you know.
Yeah.
Like, of course I didn't know that. That's insane.
I know. I love when anybody know. It's like when Sherlock Holmes explains the rationale in the final pages, right? You're like, no one could have known this.
No one would ever know. But I mean, I feel like we're kind of moving into final thoughts just because this is so badass.
I do have a question first, though.
Okay.
So maybe this will be revealed next issue. I haven't read ahead, but like, what is there any kind of like logic to like Star God going into Jen Walters' mom's necklace? Like, is it random chance, do you think? Or was it like actually like drawn to, because Jen had it on and visited Rory and ostensibly in his radio station in Florida, and Manwolf was drawn to that because of her radiation and the gamma in her blood. And I love that gamma's coming into this. Like,
oh yeah, gamma's totally part of this.
I love it.
Maybe that's just the reason they'll use just right there is that
it's just gamma ties
radiation into the pearls themselves.
Yeah. Okay. I just was wondering if you had any theories or saw something I didn't see.
No, I just can't wait for next issue.
Yeah. What I've learned is that you cannot second guess this this story. So yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you do the final thought thing, Jacob?
Well, man, final thoughts. Yeah, we should definitely talk about some. But final thoughts for me is that once I finish this issue, once I finish this amazing last page, I was just like, I love David Kraft forever. I mean, I loved him already for Star God, but this really is a great continuation of the Other Realm story without it just repeating itself. Because he could have. I mean, when I saw these that these She-Hulk issues are in the Manwolf chronology, and I'm like, oh, I saw that he was in his Star God outfit, and so I'm like, oh, well, it must just be like She-Hulk goes to Other Realm, and it's just this thing, and that was way too normal for David Kraft. Like, he had to do something totally fucking bizarre like this, like reduce Star God to subatomic levels. He lives in the pearl necklace of her dead mother. It's just like, that is why I love David Kraft. And I loved this issue. I mean, between this last page and the whole sequence of him harnessing a planet's power in his crystal radio set, like I was all in. I loved this issue.
Brad?
Oh, I loved it. It's that loopy Marvel Comics fly by the seat of your pants stuff that I just really appreciate. 22 pages of packing everything it can in there and it's interesting how a lot of these things get from A to B so clunkily and just kind of like things just happen. Right? Like, they don't have the sort of like setup and payoffy sort of like beats of something like an episode of TV, right? Mm-hmm. Which just gives them this freedom to just be absolutely out of their minds. It's completely mad.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I love it. It's like the reveal of the pearl necklace thing, as if that was something that was like, oh yeah, of course it's the pearl
on the table.
Like, it's just so loopy. Like, and I love the sort of even some of the stuff that's like repeat, it's like he lands somewhere and then he builds a javelin to get to another part that he lands and is lonely. You could have just had him build he could have landed in the weird thing and built the battery initially, right?
Right.
Nope, he had a javelin his way there.
To get to the battery, he had to land on which is like it's like a fever dream of some like 7-year-old. It's like, well, first he has to get from the spiky planet to to another. It's I loved it, and I really like the She-Hulk stuff. I like the artwork on the She-Hulk stuff a lot.
Me too.
And I'm actually gonna probably check out this initial run. I've always been meaning to. I've only read She-Hulk when she appears in Hulk proper, and the occasional little more modern stuff. But I've never read this initial run. It's a blind spot I have. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I thought it was a blast. It was a fun, hallucinatory, weird little artifact that I'm glad is now part of my life. It's got the Men in Black ending, It's just so weird.
Yeah, I agree. I had an absolute blast with it. I loved what Kraft did with all the manual stuff, all the subatomic space stuff. It's absolute gold. I totally dug jumping into Jen Walter's world and just kind of being exposed to that. And I will be checking it out as well. And, I'm with you that, like, I think a lot of the average people, like the Debbies of the world, the secretaries of the world, would see this storytelling kind of idiosyncrasies as a defect. Like, well, that's just a weird dude who's acid damaged, who was a hippie who just kind of, went from A to Z in his own fucking weird hippie way. Whereas to me and like us, I think that is like the best part of the story is like, yeah, that's how he got there. It's fucking crazy, right? And they're like, yeah, but why, So I love how fucking weird it is. I love that he went inside of a pearl. It's like fucking Charlie Kaufman like shit. Like,
well, it's really good, like pop mythology. It's really fun, and sometimes these comics are like very cynically made in that way, where they're the idiosyncrasies are due to somebody being like, who gives a shit? It's for kids,
right?
Whereas this is like, it really feels like, just this guy's just on his own kick, getting out all his kinks, working out all his weird stuff. And then I can only imagine the artist just wringing their, like, wait, what? I have to draw this and that and the other thing and the cloak and the stuff. And now we're in like truly strange ground is covered in this. And a good blend of the fantastic and the mundane. It's like, now it's a soap opera. Now it's a space saga. Now, all over the map. Now it's a big meaty punch up, Not a dull moment.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Can I give you a little treat?
Please.
Sure. Here's a letter from Savage She-Hulk number 19 that is talking about this. Dear D.A.K., I guess that's Mr. Kraft, your ability to weave intricate plots is truly amazing. The most recent example is She-Hulk number 13. I would like to point out several items of interest, all related to your writing of Deathlock, The Defenders, Man-Wolf, and now She-Hulk. Continuing your story of the Star God is very appropriate. He was an early success for you. But the current storyline also owes something to other stories of yours. Particularly the Xenogenesis epic and the Star God is also said to be from the Other Realm. Particularly the Xenogenesis epic and the Star God is also said to be from the Other Realm. I don't know if I understand that sentence.
Yeah.
I hope that I've expressed my appreciation of the way you weave your plots. Keep it up. It's enjoyable to follow all the machinations. Robert Bird, Medway, Massachusetts. And the response is, that's more like it. But seriously, Bob, apparently there's some criticism earlier in the letters column. But seriously, Bob, we get a kick out of occasionally planting sneaky little asides meant especially for longtime loyal Marvelites with eagle eyes and mammoth memories, such as yourself. Yet it's all in fun. And no matter whether you notice them or not, it really makes absolutely no difference in following the full story. It's just a little something extra tossed in for you old timers, a bullpen bonus. And we're glad you got a charge out of it, Bob. So just, I thought just want to share that somebody wrote in and said they dug what he was doing and tying in a bunch of his early stuff, which seemed appropriate to Brad's comment.
Yep, for sure.
That's very sweet, actually.
Yeah. Cool. What are the business we got, Jacob? We need to do a shout out to our Pack brothers, even though one's here right now.
Yeah, it's always embarrassing. But yeah, let's do our shout outs. Here's where we like to give a shout out to our Pack brothers and Pack sisters who subscribe to the highest tier on Patreon. People like Michael G.,
Tim Tucker,
Brian from Marvel by the Month,
Josh Link,
Jeff Fitzpatrick,
Mr. Caleb,
Ben McClure,
Michelle from Moonlit Comics,
Mark Nivens,
Rob Haverman,
Russ from Tomes of Evil,
Eric Hadley,
someone named Brad Elmore,
Elmore.
Yeah.
Johnny Turner,
Jackson T. Overstreet,
Tony Iupi,
Jared C.,
Brink Bunny,
Ryan from Across the Bifrost,
Bill from Long Island,
and David D.
Yes, thank you to all of you. You're all Pack brothers and sisters, and we value your support. Much appreciated.
Bunch of rock stars.
That's right.
Damn right.
That Brad Elmore guy sounds like a preening ass, though. I don't know.
He grows on you,
Yeah.
know. He does.
Bye, Menon.
Yeah. So next week, Matt, we are going to have Michelle from Moonlit Comics on to talk about the finale of this 2-issue story and She-Hulk number 14. So I'm excited for that.
Me too. We gave some gushing love last episode for both Brad and Michelle. And if you haven't heard them yet, you'll see why this episode and next one.
I love all the guests. It's good stuff. I actually really enjoy also too when somebody comes sort of way outside of the comic thing. The guest who was the Jimmy Buffett cover songstress.
Mhm.
I really love that episode. I found that really charming. Yeah, you guys get good guests.
Yeah, I want to do more of that next season. I want to at least have, one or two people that are coming from completely outside the comic realm. I figure just from people that we know, they'll probably just be musicians. But yeah, I always like that too, and I loved that episode too, Brad, with Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
And what a good way to like sandblast them with some weirdness than Son of Satan. That's actually some.
That's right.
The good drugs right there. So, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, next season we're actually doing Jack's solo guest appearance adventures, and the season following will be Son of Satan.
For the love of Pete. I was right.
No, and also I'm assuming that next season, Brad, we're gonna do the special for Patreon only subscribers. We're gonna do our special episode all on the Supernaturals with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me talk to you guys about that afterward. I got some ideas. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I love ideas.
All right.
That's where Gravity came from.
Yeah.
What else am I missing? Oh, yes. I would like to have, I mentioned this. No, I didn't tell you yet, Jacob. My friend Pete from my band Ex Hustlers, he wants to be on. I asked him to be on. So he's another great guy. He's read comics like anybody did in the 80s. And, he's a normal person. So he went on with his life after that. So it'll be really fun to throw him into some early 80s Spider-Woman meets Werewolf by Night shit.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I want to get Nicole on here, and can you? Is the bandwidth able to be handled with two guests?
Yeah.
I think that would be a blast to get her on and dump her in the deep end of one of some of this weird shit.
Yeah, sink or swim.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that about covers us. We got the world famous bonus show, by the way. If you haven't check that out, you should go to patreon.com/werewolfbynight podcast and join up. You can be a moon beast or a pack brother or sister and check that out. You can hear an audio version only if you're a furry one, but come on, you want to see the whole thing. This week, we're going to be talking about an episode of the NBC horror anthology series Fear Itself, which was stars Wendell Pierce, and it's called Something with Bite. It was written by Max Landis, and we're going to talk a little bit about how that's a prickly thing that a listener pointed out to me that we didn't talk about that, and that's totally worth bringing up. And Jacob, you're going to talk about that record that we kind of shunted off to the next episode last time, but I'm totally stoked to talk about.
Me too. Yeah, we're going to talk about Randy Van Warmer's failed concept album from 1980 called Terraform. That is a gem, an absolute diamond in the rough that no one knows about.
Yeah, and you say failed concept album, I get a little bit of I get a chub because I love the idea of a concept album, but they never really work. So they're always intriguing to me, and I love to just walk through the wreckage of a big lofty idea.
There's nothing better.
It's like there's some unify so hard it's bizarre, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer's weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time with concept albums, there's like 3 songs that kind of touch on the narrative, and then just
a bunch of songs.
Yeah. But I too am all about the concept album. I think there's no higher art form in all of human history than deciding what if rock but a story.
Yep. Indeed. Well, Brad, it was lovely to see and speak with you today.
Yes, pleasure's all mine. I'll always here when you need me.
Jacob, any last words to our audience?
Not that I can think of. Yeah, just join us because I'm sure next issue of She-Hulk is going to be just as weird and awesome as this one. So I can't wait. So yeah, join us for the next issue.
Right on. So if you want to call and give us your feedback, call 971-220-JUNK and leave a voicemail, and we can put that on the show. Give us your feedback. We want to know what you're thinking. You can also follow us on Instagram at Werewolf by Night Podcast, separated by underscores, or on Twitter at Werewolf Podcast. Yeah, so I guess that's it. So thanks for joining us this week, listeners. Till we meet again beneath the full moon, furry ones, here's howling at ya.